being nice isn't the same thing as being useful. Just think of the people you trust most. They aren't busy trying to be liked by everybody. They're trying to be relied upon by the right people. And while that may sound obvious, in real estate, that perspective shift changes everything because being liked is not the same thing as being trusted. And how you build that trust, it's going to require you to make a choice. Let's talk about that. Welcome to Renovating Real Estate. I'm Sandy McMaster. Each week, we renovate the way real estate operators think, decide, and execute. We do that using the identity ops method because most agents and brokers, they're not operationalized what truly makes them different, and we would like to change that. Today, we're talking about a word or a phrase that I hear a lot of agents use when we're talking, and they kind of use it as a catch-all business model. When I ask them what kind of business model they're running, they say, I work by referral, or I'm a relational agent. And once we dig into the details of this, it sort of became more like a code. It was like a code for hoping to be liked enough to win the business, trying to be liked enough to get hired. And that is not a strategy. I really found it to be acting like more of a stalling technique against making what might be or what might feel like a hard choice for some agents. And this market, everything going on, the industry consolidation, everything that is whirling around us, it's really forcing the issue. And in my opinion, we're entering what I have called a K-shaped agency. You've heard people talk about K-shaped economy. Just think of the shape of a K, one arm going up, one arm going down. Don't think of it as up or down. Just think of it as one way or another. But I really believe that we're in a K-shaped agency moment. You're either mining relationships or mentoring them. And that middle ground, what most people are calling relational, as a business model, I believe it's disappearing. I think people are really struggling. I think agents are really struggling right now. So in this episode, I want to give you a clean distinction and a simple test you can run before you publish another post, take another coffee date, or accept another exhausting lead and think, yeah, I guess I have time to do that, so I will. Ooh, that can be a slippery, dicey slope. So let's start with the one that feels normal because it's the most that the agents I talk to and the agents that it's brokers too. It's the agents and the brokers training. It's the most people have been trained or brought up into. And to me, I call it relationship mining because really at its core, it's volume behavior. It's the transactional model. It's just dressed in better clothes with a smile. You're networking to extract leads, introductions, and ultimately closings. Your skill base in this model is really momentum. It's volume thinking. And the bottleneck is constantly feeding the machine. And look, mining can work, especially if you run it honestly and you run it well, but most people don't. They pretend it's something deeper. They pretend that the relationship is something deeper, and they quietly resent the treadmill. Now, mentoring in relationships is different. That's more of an operator behavior. Think of it more of a business behavior, identity-based behavior. You're not trying to be liked by everyone. Matter of fact, you're clear-eyed and okay with the fact that not everyone loves to see you coming. You're trying to be relied upon by the right someone. You aren't striving for likability. You're striving for credibility. That's a really important distinction. It's a really important distinction. So just sit with that. What are you striving for? Likability in your activities or credibility? I think that's an important distinction to start the pod with. Now, your advantage is really three things. It's self-awareness in this mentorship. Think of it mentorship or operator behavior or identity-based behavior. Your advantage is three things here. It's self-awareness. You know who you are and you know who you are not. It's your judgment and standards. I might even say standards meaning you're okay having boundaries. And it's the ability to lead a person through uncertainty. And you can just in that moment right there, if your job is credibility or likability, and you know that the journey you're about to take with somebody is fraught with uncertainty, and you are terrified because your entire basis of relationship is being likable, and you're going to have to tell these people something that they may not want to hear, but they need to hear, and you are sweating the idea that they may not like you, that is stress you don't need. On the other hand, being a conduit, being a mentor, being an operator, having standards and boundaries, setting the relationship based on credibility, you're not sweating the likability part. So here's where the talk to everybody crowd just sort of collapses. You cannot truly mentor. You cannot be that credible expert to an audience you don't understand. And you cannot speak with authority you haven't earned. If you try, my guess is that you're going to feel it. And that may manifest its way by you over-explaining in a moment or doubting yourself at a critical point or underbilling, not charging a fee that is commensurate with your judgment, analysis, and experience. You may over-deliver and undercharge, and that is just not running a real business. So before you publish another post, to take another coffee, or accept another, sure, I can help with that lead because you are slow, run this quick audience integrity check. It's 10 questions. I'll put it in the show notes. You can save it for later. Don't try to write them down. Just listen to them. Number 1, can I name the specific pain of my person, the pain they're feeling right now in this market, this month, not someday? Can I name their specific pain? Number 2, can I describe what this person might be trying to protect? That might sound like family. That might sound like reputation. That might be cash. And it might be peace. It could be all over the map. But can you describe what the person on the other side of you might be protecting? It's number 2. Number 3, do I personally, as an agent, have 3 wins with this type of person? And I mean proof, not I feel good with them. Do I have 3 wins with this type of person? Number 4, do I know what they're afraid to say out loud or admit out loud? That might be like they're terrified of doing something wrong. They're terrified of looking silly or stupid. They're terrified of being taken advantage of. You get the idea. It's number 4. Number 5, do I know what they won't do, even if it's good advice? Number 6, can I explain my process in 3 simple steps without sounding like everyone else? That's a good one, my friends. I was just practicing my own on a walk yesterday morning. Can I explain my process in 3 steps without sounding like everybody else? Number 7, can I price confidently without over-explaining or apologizing? Number 8, do I know what a great outcome means to them? Number 9, do I have language for the trade-offs they're facing right now? And number 10, do I know which trade-offs matter the most to them? Time, risk, certainty, comfort, money, pride. And can I reflect that back to them so the decision is value-led and not pressure-led? Let me say that last one again. Number 10, do I know which trade-offs matter the most to them? And can I reflect it back so that the decision is value-led, not pressure-led? Okay, those are 10 questions. Now, here's the takeaway. Don't, just hold on the questions. They're in the show notes. But if you can't answer those questions, you're not ready for that particular audience yet. So you have 2 honest options at this point. You can downshift the promise that you're making, or you can go earn the proof. Either way, saying you are relational as a strategy, that's pretending. If you can't answer those questions and you're pretending that that's the relationship, but you really don't have that basis of relationship and you're relying on being likable, that's going to be tough moving forward. So this turns into our choice. Are you mining or are you mentoring? I'll cap it there. And if you're a broker out there and if you are on the other side of agents and you feel the stress coming off of them because they are really struggling in their market or in their year because they are terrified of not being liked, go ahead and share this with them. They need to hear it because I think we are really crusting into the kind of industry where we need to start making some choices of what kind of business model are we running. And it's not about just being likable. Too much stress goes with that. So if this resonated, share it with a broker or agent who might need to hear it. Oh, they might just say, ooh, thank you so much. And if you're listening on Apple, rate the pod. If you're on Spotify, you can drop a comment in there or a rating. It's how others find the show. And that's what we're trying to do here. Help the next guy or girl. Lastly, if you are interested in the method underneath all of this, identityops.co, you can go visit there or just use your Google machine or your chat GPT and you can find me there. Until next week.